So, what are the main symptoms and diagnosis for hypothyroidism or any thyroid issue?
Yeah, it's really fascinating because of my own situation. I ended up learning quite a bit about hypothyroidism, which in my case wasn't diagnosed until quite late into my 40s. But it should have been identified earlier because I was tracking my fertility cycles just for fun. I was a student at the time in traditional Chinese medicine, and you experiment with yourself. And my body temperature, I use Fahrenheit, so you may have to convert this, but it was always under 98.0, and the normal temperature upon arising should be 98.6. Mine was always 97.7, 97.8, 97.9. It was never even 98.0. And that's very low body temperature upon arising. And my nose, my fingertips, my toes were always cold. And I lived in Southern California when I was going to traditional Chinese medical school. It was a bit abnormal, people would be like, in cotton clothes, and I'd have a light sweater on. I was constantly cold by temperament, and which is a telltale sign. But why it never got diagnosed is, first of all, often it's not tested even now, and that was back when I was in my 20s. Definitely it wasn't tested. I didn't look like I was hypothyroid because I was very thin. I didn't present. Hypothyroid usually is excess weight. So some of the symptoms are being very cold all the time, cold extremities, cold nose, low blood pressure. In my case, I always was getting dizzy. If I stood up too fast, I would feel very dizzy, but often they think, oh, that's anemia, right? So they don't tie it in together. Low immunity, inflammation, fatigue, loss of hair, depression, all of these things. So, metabolism, so weight gain. For many, it's weight gain. In my case, not. That's just the tip of the iceberg. Basically, our entire metabolism is subpar when we have low thyroid. But I would say that even if you know of someone or yourself that has low moods, the link to depression to me is really, really critical because the quality of life is so profoundly affected. Even my getting dizzy, but I always had low energy. I was very active because I have a very, very high willpower, but I didn't have the metabolism to back it up. So I would be playing tennis and then I'd get these spells of almost fainting, and I was well fed. So no, it was, let's say, surprising to all of us, and they couldn't identify why, but it was hypothyroid.